The number 444 represents archangels who are ready to help you.
Now that we know that you guys love Big
Yeah.
Mike stuff, we have infinite
Well, there's so
Big
much.
Mike content.
It's so fun making fun of Big Mike. It's just great. I mean, everything that comes out of these guys' mouth is just fun to watch, fun to celebrate. So we got some new ones, and for a while now, we've been showing you the evolution of Logan Paul's voice. Now, I've been wanting to put together a really nice, all-inclusive video showing you the evolution of Logan's voice, because for those of you who don't know, it started with him actually imitating Redbar fool Chris Delia. People don't know this. So Logan Paul and Chris Delia got into an online Twitter battle. At the end of this Twitter battle, Logan lost the battle in the public eye and all this stuff. So Logan just full out submitted to Chris D'Elia. And a couple weeks later on his show, Logan starts talking about, I'm actually a giant fan of Chris D'Elia. I've watched all his specials. I've watched everything that he's been in. I can't get enough of Chris D'Elia. I love him. And it was so stupid to even go up against him. This is what he did. He completely submitted to Chris D'Elia. He let himself be sauteed. And then it started happening. Logan Paul started doing this voice where it's almost like a Polish immigrant weird voice. And
but also like Mexican.
It's a voice like this. I don't know, bro. I don't know it. I'm ding. It's like this weird, goofy voice that no one's ever done except for one other person. And that is Chris D'Elia. So okay, I'm going to save this for another time because I want to show you all that back to back one day to show you how Logan stole Chris D'Elia's cool guy voice for almost a year and a half. But then Logan's voice started turning into more of a Drake type fake voice. So this is Drake's real voice. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Apple event. I would like to sell you some computers. But Drake's gangster voice is, yeah. Put 5 on that shit for me. Yeah, I'm Drake. Yeah. Just like the cheapest, you would call it a wigger voice, a black voice. Logan Paul started doing that. Jake Paul started doing that. It's not even wigger. It's more of a Mexican voice. Now, that voice, we've showcased it many times with, yo, you know what I saw in the club the other day? Long overdue. Aubrey. Yeah. Drake. People were sickened. And then the other day on Adam 22's podcast, we showed you that clip where Logan Paul's like, man, a smart girl? Yeah. I think I'm sapiosexual, dog. And we were appalled. Well, in just a week, it's evolved to the next stage. This is a crazy voice.
It's unbelievable.
Logan Paul has taken his voice to another level. This might be a full Mexican voice. This reminds me of a character I used to play called Gay Gangster. Years and years and years ago, I thought it would be funny to have like a Latin king gang member guy, but he's gay. Now I think that's something that's been covered, but
back in the day,
back in the day, yeah, hey, I'm a gay gangster. Okay. Logan Paul has gone completely gay gangster. Gigi. And we're going to show you that today. It is shocking. I think I want to start with that clip, and then we'll get into the Pink Floyd stuff. Okay, afterwards? I think I'm going to start.
I am not so sure my head.
I want to start.
You can kind of, I mean.
Oh, God. No,
This part that starts from 7 until 12 minutes or whatever, you can pretty much play that whole thing. So
okay.
It would be, but it's up to you.
Okay, so
you could skip back and forth.
Oh, I get it. We're going to start at 7:30. So Big Mike is here, of course, Big Mike, and he starts bragging about how he's getting Logan Paul into classic rock. Okay, this is where this whole thing starts. Big Mike goes, yeah, man, like, I started showing Logan like a lot of Pink Floyd and the Doors. And the kid's responsive to it. I mean, he gets it. Like, he's actually liking it. And it's like,
yikes.
You'll see. You'll see.
You'll know what I mean.
You're going to fucking love this. Let's go to 7:30 and get the party started. Guys, You're going to love this fucking clip. Here we go. Logan Paul, Big Mike on the set of Impulsive.
And this happens to be a generation that likes consuming videos. Like timing is
You're gonna love it.
can be attributed to so much of one person's success in pretty much any vertical: relationships, career, personal life.
Were you born in the right generation though? Because I've been listening to Pink Floyd a lot with you lately, and you've been liking it. You've been digging it a lot, dude. We had a
First of all, somebody says they're the new Beavis and Butthead. I love it.
Yes.
Yeah, I did. Do you think you were brought up in the wrong generation? I've been showing him a lot of Pink Floyd. He's responsive to it. He does appreciate it.
Wait till you hear this shit.
Floyd a lot with you lately, and you've been liking it. You've been digging it a lot, dude. We had a whole night the other night where we shut off all the lights in the house. Evan brought out a laser show. We'd listen to Pink Floyd and the Doors for hours on end, and I explained to him the lyrics and the Pink Floyd songs, how they were about.
You know, I was talking to Logan. I'm like, do you know Pink Floyd? He said no. So I showed him it. I was explaining him the lyrics and what they all meant, and he was responsive to it. He liked it. The kid liked it. And
Do you hear this? Do I even need to explain why this
This is pretty much self-explanatory. I'm
You
pretty
see
sure.
how fucking...
And look at,
Oh,
even
they're all yelling. Look, they're all yelling. This gets better.
Brought out a laser show. We'd listen to Pink Floyd and the Doors for hours on end, and I explained to him the lyrics and the Pink Floyd songs, how they were about anti-establishment and going against the grain and not getting.
Oh, yeah, just like you two, right? Anti-establishment.
going against the grain.
Regular two punk rockers here. Yeah, going against the grain. Biggest fucking corporate sellouts we've ever met. Now remember, Logan is 25. Mike is 37. So Big Mike shows Logan the things he missed from childhood because Logan's dad is a white trash crazy person. So he's like,
dude, you ever heard the Doors? Let me show you the education. Now what they're saying here, what they mean, it actually is like LSD. We're like,
we know. We fucking know,
Wouldn't
Big
you
Mike.
kill to hear the recording of them high Mike explaining the Doors to Logan
So
Paul?
this is, somebody says fool number one, and this is why I hope that you're agreeing here. Like, comedians aren't even this stupid to say these things out loud. Like, Josh Denny at least knows where he needs to shut his mouth. Big Mike there's no governor on this guy. He'll say the worst, most offensive things in the world.
Zero self-awareness of how he comes
And
off.
nobody has ever gotten, like, nobody makes fun of him enough. That's why I'm stepping in here. I believe we have a really good chance of, we saw Mike do what we think might be a response to our video the other day. We'll show you this at the end. No one's making fun of Big Mike, but all of the internet, everybody who knows Big Mike, all of the other YouTubers hate Big Mike. But because they're all part of this clout-obsessed fuckfest, no one's going to say nothing about Big Mike. I might be the only one making fun of Big Mike online. This could eventually turn into something. I almost want to, and I know it might get repetitive, I almost want to keep making Big Mike clips for YouTube and really see how far we can push this guy. He's not getting pushed by anybody. And everybody wants to see him get pushed, you see. So this could really end up in something spectacular here once he starts going toe-to-toe, which he will, because he ain't going to let a guy like me with 10K subs give him the business like this. So please stick with me while we tickle this Mike. Don't show him this part, though, because then he'll try to come up with a plan. We will defeat him. No matter what plan he comes up with, but you got to see what he's doing here. Watch this.
Doors for hours on end, and I explained to him the lyrics and the Pink Floyd songs, how they were about anti-establishment and going against the grain and not giving in to the government.
Like being a maverick.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. I mean, in a way, Roger Waters, Sid Barrett were the original Mavericks, dude. They were running that shit back in 60.
And that's what he calls, Logan Paul calls himself a maverick, and that's the name of his merch. So you're comparing yourself to fucking Led Zeppelin and the Doors?
But even that other guy is going, he's like a maverick, and laughs
It's a joke.
because he's saying it as a joke.
It's a joke.
But then Mike goes,
yeah, actually, yeah, Logan Paul and Led Zeppelin and like all those guys who paved the, very similar guys.
I don't know, man. I don't know if Led Zeppelin ever did a commercial for Hims hair loss dick supplements. I mean, come the fuck on. Let's hear some more.
67, 69, all that shit. And Logan likes it, dude. He even used "Wish You Were Here" in his last vlog.
He's right there. He's right there.
Logan was very responsive. He liked the music. He even used it in his last vlog. He's a good guy. Good boy, Logan. I can't believe you like the Doors.
Yeah, dude, everyone liked the Doors. They were a mainstream fucking pop group when they were out. It's not a remarkable feat that Logan saw something in those Doors. Logan, he can see past the bullshit. He sees what Led Zeppelin was trying to do. In fact, they're artists.
I mean, Logan isn't your 6-year-old son.
I know.
He actually liked the Doors. Isn't this nice? I showed him the albums. I explained to him the lyrics. And it was a different time. I had to explain to him, like,
Dude. Let's hear some more.
Started because I was wearing that Pink Floyd shirt.
Yep.
It's my brother's shirt. When I was at Tana's house shooting the video with her, she
Tana
gave it to me
Khan.
and I liked it. And Evan would make fun of me. He goes,
You don't even know any songs.
name one Pink Floyd song. I'd be like, And so Mike's like,
And I got a couple Logan supporters going, dude, these guys are just kids in their early 20s. You're being a boomer. But Big Mike is the same age as me.
Yes.
Logan Paul is 25. This other guy might be 30. They're on fucking TV. Sorry. This is fair.
And there's a lot of Logan fans who are confused. Like when Logan goes on the news or whatever,
Yes.
he does like these little bits where
Yes.
he's like a stupid guy.
Yes.
And then all of his fans in our comments are going, he's doing a bit
Dude,
of a
he's
stupid
doing a
guy.
bit.
But
You've
that,
been trolled. No.
the news thing
They
is
always wish.
completely different
Yeah.
than the way they act on their podcast. Like this
Yeah, of course.
podcast stuff is 100% real.
100% real. We know the difference between when they're trolling
We've seen
and when
every
they're not.
episode since day one.
Keep dreaming. All right, you got to hear this part. This gets so good.
I got you. Like
got
some big
you.
bro shit. And
Yeah.
then he ran me through it and showed me all their discography, all their
right.
dicks. And
You're going to love this.
the problem was I was so high.
Yeah.
I was so high.
Oh my god. Was it a
Bro, if
painful
you
thing?
listen to Pink Floyd when you're high,
It's incredible.
what do you expect to happen?
Did you cry?
No.
it's incredible, actually. Like, if you're high, like we both took like a hit, it's crazy.
They're acting like we thought they were on LSD or fucking DMT or some shit. All they did was smoke a little joint.
And they're like, dude, it's actually so psychedelic.
We laid on the floor
Watch
for
this.
hours, and I brought him through Dark Side of the Moon, through the Wall. Even had
We laid on the floor for hours. I brought him through Dark Side of the Moon. The kid was responsive. I brought him through.
There's
You
like
brought
nothing to even
him
see other than
through?
just imitate his voice.
Exactly.
Because it's just so.
Hold on. This gets so much fucking better.
I'm sorry.
What
I'm sorry.
happened?
Did you cry?
No.
Oh.
we laid on the floor for hours, and I brought him through Dark Side of the Moon, through the Wall. Even had him listen to a couple songs off Amagama, which was some wild shit. But
Yeah.
I mean, I love Pink Floyd. I was raised on a lot of classic rock, and
Same here.
My mom trained me on a lot of the Eagles and Clapton, the
Yes,
Door.
everyone in existence was. If you ever turn on the fucking radio, that's all that it was for 10, 15 years. Classic rock. This isn't some underground secret that you've uncovered. This gets worse.
On a lot of classic rock, and
Same here.
My mom trained me on a lot of the Eagles and Clapton, the Doors, and Pink Floyd, and that shit is like, those albums were masterpieces. We look at albums now, like
Trained.
The Baby or Lil Baby or somebody comes out with it. I'm like, that shit slaps.
Here it comes.
These Pink Floyd albums are masterpieces. Every song, how it's placed in the lineage of songs, every second of the song is thought through like some sort of scientific experiment. It's beautiful.
You consume music a lot.
Absolutely.
And
A lot of music.
comment
Here we
below. Is there a masterpiece that has been put out in the last decade?
Yes.
Like a true
Oh, yeah.
masterpiece?
Absolutely.
What is it?
Easy. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, Kanye West. Incredible album, start to finish. Like we're talking.
These white guys love Kanye, huh? These fucking white nerds love Kanye.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Oh, it's the best album. I don't like any of the new stuff because people didn't all like it. So I like this one the best because that was the last time everyone liked it.
Ah! But listen, this gets good.
Visual experience with the whole 30-minute music video thing that was made. to
Talking about quinoa.
just the music as
It's
it
gonna
plays
get better.
out and unfolds. This like spectacle and size of everything that goes into it, it makes it one of the greatest albums of all time, easily.
Watch
Yeah,
this.
it's definitely a favorite among
Here it comes.
Kanye fans for
Yeah.
sure. Among music fans.
Music fans.
But I just like, I mean,
I just wonder if we're getting to a point where like music is so saturated.
Okay. And I like how he clears his throat because he's about to do what's called a brand new voice. A brand new voice. Don't you dare clear that throat. So he's talking normal, right? You haven't heard any of the, yo, you know who I met in the club the other day? Aubrey. But he clears his throat here to talk about music. And you're going to hear a whole new Logan. Are you ready for this? Because this gets
this
sick.
is so good.
This one goes through a lot of loop-de-loos, okay? So hang on tight.
I just wonder if we're getting to a point where like music is so saturated. people like the 808, the snare drum, and then some fucking lyric that sort of sounds like something like, bro,
That's
I'm
just what
gonna
we're
say it
in.
right now.
It'll change.
Lil Baby,
Little
he'll pop up on my Spotify.
he just dropped a new album.
Yeah, that's why I think,
Yeah.
because I'm scrolling through and I can't fucking get away from Lil Baby songs.
Here's the
And,
deal.
I'm all for the new artists, but like this one in particular, I have no idea. I have no idea what he's saying. I have none. And it all sounds the same. His tone is the same. It's all the same. I give him a year.
Here's
I give him a year, dong. I give him a year.
What is
Dude,
he
I have
saying?
no idea. I have no idea. What? You'll see, this is a tricky one. I was listening to Little Baby. I have no idea. I have no idea what he's saying. I give him a year. Oh, do you? Hey. What else do I get to give for a year?
Well, I didn't even.
So he's
make,
losing.
I didn't even make the connection of "give it a year." That's one of our
Whoa!
catchphrases.
Boom!
We gotta add this
I
to the
give it a
soundboard.
year, dong. Yo, dong, you know what I give? A year. I give it a year. We got to get the cheese from the Musicato as well. Listen to this shit one more time.
And I'm all for the new artists, but like this one in particular, I have no idea. I have no idea what he's.
I have no idea. I have no idea what he's saying. You see? What? You can't fall into that?
I have no idea.
I have no idea. I give him a year. Wow! I love saying
I
that.
could listen to this over.
Isn't
and
this
over
amazing?
for
We
hours.
just did a Big Mike and Logan Paul voice thing. And then they deliver this to us 2 days later? I mean, come the fuck on!
There's a lot of gifts in this show.
It came on and they're like, oh, a new Impulsive. Let's watch it to see if there is anything. And then they give us this. This is just as good as what we just watched.
This one in particular, I
This one in
have no
particular?
idea. I have no idea what he's saying. I have none. And it all sounds the same. His tone is the same. It's all the same. I give him a year.
Dude, even like when you clip it out of context, yo, I have no idea what he's saying. I have no idea. I give him a year. Come on, that's not fucking the funniest. I give him a year, and then he makes this face. Why are you mixing up this accent?
Kind of knew that he
Give
went
him
too
a
far
year,
with the
dong.
accent. Because what's
What?
this face? Like, watch the face he does at the end of
I
I
know
give
he
him a
doesn't.
year.
No, don't give him any credit here.
Okay.
Please.
I have no idea what he's saying. I have none. And it all sounds the same. His tone is the same. It's all the same. I give him a year.
You know, wow. I give him a year. You don't want to be caught in our comment section on YouTube going, I don't hear him doing a black voice at all.
That means you do
do
it.
one. Yeah. I got like 10 guys, and it really has only been 10. It's been pretty low. 10 guys in the comments on that last video. He's not doing a Wigger accent at all. What are you talking about? You are jealous. It's like, see, you're probably talking like that too. And there's been 100 people. Are you kidding me? Off-White is not dead. You're so stupid. You're a boomer. If Logan Paul and Jake Paul are wearing Off-White, it is fucking dead. I don't know what to tell you. You want to look like them? Go ahead. I gave it a year.
We gotta get that for the
And by the
soundboard.
way, what's his name? Virgil is older than me. So you want to talk about boomer? You're wearing boomer clothes. You're wearing Kanye and Virgil. They're older than fucking me.
Wow, argue with that comment.
Argue with that. I gave it a year, dog.
Sounds like the Bumblebee man from The Simpsons.
Someone said that, yeah, the bee. I used to call, listen to this. You want to hear something about my childhood? People might like this. I only took Spanish once. I was kicked out. Kicked out of 7th grade Spanish. Yeah, that's when it started. 7th grade, you had to pick Spanish or French, and then you had to do 2 years of it in middle school, and you had to complete one of the voices, Spanish or French. We had a teacher. I picked Spanish, of course. Who the fuck's going to pick French in America? That's stupid.
Me.
Well, you live in Canada. So I had a teacher, Senora Berg was her name. Remember, it's not Miss Berg. It's Senora Berg. She looked like Susie from Curb Your Enthusiasm, Jules. Senora Berg. Looked like Susie, but fatter. First day of class, I was a huge hit. The first day of class, and remember, this is our first introduction to Spanish, and the teacher is giving us this introduction, telling us a little about her background and about how she spent years in Mexico learning this and blah, blah, blah. But she's a white lady. She's a big, fat white lady. Curly hair, looks like Susie from Curb Your Enthusiasm. And she goes, so does anyone have any questions today? And I, right here. Everyone turns around. And I simply say this word for word. She goes, oh, okay, Senor Miguel, question? And I go, yeah. Are you the bee? And she goes, excuse me? I go, are you the bee? And she goes, the bee? And I go, yeah, from The Simpsons, the bee. The whole class erupts. She has no idea what it is. And for the rest of the time, we drew her in the bee costume. And we made.
You did a lot of drawings.
We bullied her. It was the first. I was kicked out of the class. No one's kicked out of a class in 7th. She went to the principal and said, "This kid can't be in my class because he bullies me too much." And they just removed me from Spanish mid-class. I never took it again. That was it.
Wow.
And we called her the bee. Even after I graduated from that middle school, people call her the bee. And she hates it, and everyone would draw pictures of her in that costume
to
with the
this
fucking.
day, I heard they're still calling her the bee.
You the bee? You're the bee. And her name was Senora Berg, B for B. Wow. It was perfect. So, yes. Yo, donk. What does he say here?
Yo, I'm all for the new artists, but like this one in particular, I have no idea. I have no idea what he's saying. I have none, and it all sounds the same. His tone is the same. It's all the same. I give him a year.
Got a little cramp in my neck. Okay, we got more, right? A little bit more. Would you like to hear more Mike music talk?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I did. I was showing him like some really cool stuff, some obscure music, the Beatles.
Let's listen to a little bit more here. I think people like Big Mike and Logan now.
I can't get enough of them.
Let's go to 12 minutes in. More Mike music talk at 12 minutes in. Only a minute ahead here. Oh, look at that. 12 minutes. Here we are.
It's smattering.
When you were in your like heavy drug addiction days,
Drug addiction.
would you just sit there and look at the ceiling and listen to music?
Depending on what part of the days, you know, but that's what decided the music. It's like, does life imitate art or does art imitate life? I mean, during the dealing days when I was selling a lot, it was a lot of
No. You see, Mike is an ex-oxy addict. Yep. He brings it up almost every day. I believe he was on some Vicodin from the dentist for about 8 weeks. Got in a fight with his parents about it, and that's that. Now he's pretending that he's Pusha T.
Dude, during my dealing days, when I was like a street kingpin.
No. You didn't deal. You weren't a streetster.
He's writing a book, by the way, about his trials and tribulations.
Yeah,
and
he's
can't
writing
wait
a book.
To read that shit.
He's writing a book.
Comes out in April.
He got a couple morphines from having his wisdom teeth pulled out, and then he was like,
I was a heroin addict, dude. I was a dealer. I was pushing.
No.
life. I mean, during the dealing days when I was selling a lot, it was a lot of Jay-Z, it was a lot of Biggie, a lot of Nas.
Oh, wait.
During my dealing days, it was a lot of Biggie, a lot of Jay, and a lot of Nas. We were just like four of the same. I was outside of Marcy Projects being like, dude, you guys need some pals?
It's like, does life imitate art or does art imitate life? I mean, during the the dealing days when I was selling a lot, it was a lot of Jay-Z, it was a lot of Biggie, a lot of Nas, a lot of...
Dealing days are here again. Is that Led Zeppelin? You are my only, my one and only. You are my only one. Dealing days, Led Zeppelin. Here we are. Let's hear some more.
Styles P, the Locks, that kind of shit. But during the days when we first started, when it was smoking weed, taking shrooms, acid, we were listening to Pink Floyd. We were listening to The Doors, the Beatles. I think a lot of people look at Pink Floyd as like the apex of psychedelic rock.
Yep.
When in reality, the Beatles are right up there too. I Am Walrus, Yellow Submarine.
The two mainstream psychedelic songs that you only know from movies.
Dude, Yellow Submarine is as psychedelic as it goes.
You think if you were like a real music guy, you'd have like a deeper cut to talk about. They're saying this guy makes Patrick Melton look like a solid guy. Yeah,
I'm so
this is what I
glad
mean.
that all of you guys like this because I could anything.
Because it happens every day. We've been watching this for years. It happens every day.
He's Denny level with me, where like literally any word that comes out of his mouth, I'm
Yeah.
like, unbelievable.
Unbelievable. It's perfect. Here, let's hear some more.
I think a lot of people look at Pink Floyd as like the apex of psychedelic rock. When in reality, the Beatles are right up there too. I Am Walrus, Yellow Submarine.
They got
There's
some
a
trippy
lot
stuff
of really,
going on.
really trippy
What
shit.
else?
But I
Peppers.
encourage everybody out there to go back and listen to the classics and listen to that shit and really explore.
Yes, the classic rock challenge. Can you do it? Can you survive 30 seconds listening to the guitars? Dude. We've heard the songs, bro. Trust me. I think everyone has. We've all seen the movie Shrek. Okay? We've heard classic rock.
Or different genres as well. You might like Bob Marley. You might not like The Doors.
Oh!
I love Led Zeppelin. Led Zeppelin's one of my favorite bands. We didn't even scratch the surface on that yet.
Do it on your commutes.
Oh, yeah.
That's big. Yeah, even a lot of people listen to this podcast on their commutes. Like I think that's a good time to learn and like absorb shit. We took a 2-hour drive to the NASCAR race back and forth from the
So funny. They're just discovering all the things we discovered when we were 2. It's really funny.
ranch. And yeah, we just listened to Pink Floyd and The Doors, and I got into a little bit of Jim Morrison because I remember you telling me about him and his legacy.
I also just love watching you explore different like listening formats. Like
I love watching you explore different listening formats, such as classic rock.
I love watching you explore that. You are really open to new things, and I applaud you for your responsiveness.
Just because
Explore,
Logan listened to a Led Zeppelin
different,
song.
like-
Yeah. Oops. She.
Like the hourly breakdown.
Ah, nah, nigga, nah,
Listening
nigga.
That was, you were at 13:15.
13:15. All right, listen to this.
Jim Morrison, because I remember you telling me about him and his legacy.
Jim Morrison.
I also just love watching you explore different like listening formats. Like you took an excessive amount of edibles the other night. Like you know what I'm saying?
Why,
Like,
am I doing weed
Well, no,
so
hold on.
much?
It's
Am
fun
I
right now.
Am I a drug addict?
Nah.
Tell me now, guys.
Here's what it is. We've been going through. We talked about this, Mike. The creation consumption thing.
Oh yeah, this conversation.
I think we're like.
Shut up! Shut up, hooker! All right, let's jump to 1915. Mike is going to say a word that is so fucking cringe.
Only one word. This clip
It's
is
one
just
word.
one word.
We're going to be saying this word a lot. Are you ready for Mike to say a word that is really, really bad? Because it's coming at 1915. One of my favorite years. I remember back then, the Pioneers. All right, listen to this. Mike's going to say a word. Can you guess what word it's going to be? Well, I'll pause and scream when he says it. Listen to this.
Like if you take a lot, you're gonna have a bad time.
It's
in the
another
morning.
consumption.
breaks.
It's another consumption conversation.
Yeah.
I'd love to dive deeper, maybe not in this episode, but into this this like psychedelia world that we, you know.
Psychedelia! Ah! I'd love to dive deeper into psychedelia. Maybe not now, but on another show.
Psychedelia. The act of talking about psychedelics.
I'd love to dive into psychedelia, like on another show.
Psychedelia. I mean, not since I heard the full name for what do they call that? The psychedelic. What is that psychedelic where you take
Oh,
it?
sativa.
No, not sativa. Fuck.
Oh my
Salvia
God, Salvia
divinorum. So you know that drug salvia? And you'll have these douchebags. They're like, I was on Salvia divinorum the other day. Because that's the full name.
Meaning Rogan.
Salvia divinorum. Not since I've heard that.
Not douchebags. Rogan says
Guys.
that every time he brings up salvia.
Yeah.
He goes, you know
Salvia
the drug
divinorum.
Salvia divinorum?
It's like, dude.
Just say
Stop.
salvia. Okay.
Psychedelia is what comes out of Mike's mouth. He's experimenting. He's ready. Listen to this again.
Another consumption conversation. I'd love to dive deeper, maybe not in this episode, but into this this like psychedelia world that we, you know, play in sometimes, whether it be with weed or also just like. I know I'm kind of like
Also,
anti-drugs at this point and kind of have to maintain that platform, but I'm not really anti-fungus and anti-marijuana. I think that there's a use case for both those drugs.
Yeah.
When
I like opening my third eye into the psychedelia.
Wow. You are the gift that keeps on making me rich. I love this fucking guy.
done properly and under supervision, or you know when you know whatever you have to do to get it done the right
people
way.
call
Ask your parents to watch you smoke the weed.
You should watch this show on your own, like all of the episodes. Like just subscribe to Impulsive. Every episode brings
Has
you.
Big Mike goals.
You'll find your own little things that you think are. I mean, really, it's the whole thing. It never gets old. You could scream with your friends when they say this stuff. It's actually like, it's like watching sport. It's really fun. And it's better. Listen, these guys are big. They've got great production quality. I mean, better than a guy like Denny or Melton. And there's a lot of people watching. The excitement is high from
I
these
love
guys. I get a big high from these guys. We got one more here. 5750.
This one you're gonna
This
love.
one's great. Mike is going to explain something that none of us.
This one doesn't need any explanation.
Oh, good. But Mike will explain anyway because he's old and we're dumb. 5750. Wait till you hear this. It's going to be the last time code for Redbar today. Hope you had a good time. I had a great time. 57
We
what?
should do that one quickly. The Rogan one I picked out right
Oh,
before the
okay.
show, before the end,
Well, then you get two more time codes here. We got a Rogan one right after this.
because that's a good ender.
So here's Big Mike. Listen to this.
And some internet personalities have been pushing this fear narrative.
Nah.
I mean, chill the fuck out, but also wash your hands and don't get coughed on.
Stay away from people. That'll help.
If possible.
Here it
We do a
comes.
lot of that here. This is a bubble. That's going out and like having an Airbnb, going to Topanga, exploring this weekend. Just told me and showed me how much more there is to the world.
Yeah.
This place is beautiful. It has everything, but very much the Hotel California vibes.
Where here?
Yeah,
Like in Encino?
Like you're
you
trapped.
can you can
you
have
mean?
whatever.
Very much Hotel California vibes. Okay, makes sense, right?
Okay.
Watch this.
you like, but you could never leave. Like it's kind of like what it's like. We all love to create. We all love to do fun things.
He's talking about the Eagles song, by the way. People
Absolutely.
that don't know, Hotel California.
We don't.
So the Eagles have this song, Hotel California. For those of you who don't know, that's what he's referring to. It's the song by this group, the Eagles. Now, they were called the Eagles, but they were really guys with instruments. They weren't the Bird. I know like most of you think of Eagle as the Bird. This was a group from the old times, and they're called the Eagles. They have this song, Hotel California. Now, many of you probably haven't heard this.
Listen to this again.
Have whatever you like, but you could never leave. Like it's kind of like what it's like. We all love to create. We all love to do fun things.
He's talking about the Eagles song, by the way. People
Absolutely.
that don't know, Hotel California.
Okay. Now, if you're saying, well, Mike, no, all his fans are young. That's funny because just yesterday, Big Mike was saying how old his audience was.
They're
and that
construction
they've
workers.
aged up. Remember, Big Mike?
Oh, our audience is all 40-year-old guys now. Yeah, we're not promoting porn to kids.
If you have to explain what Hotel California is to your audience,
They're
kids, maybe they're children. Round of applause for Hey Big Mike.
On the dock, there's a highway. Colwyn and Logan's hair, he was responsive.
Yeah, let me explain the hand. I bit her hand. I grabbed her wrist. I bit her hand. I did. I bit her hand. I went, ah. I went, oh.
444.